Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone, and welcome to Moral Compass 101. It's my hope that you have had a good week. Mine was a bit challenging because last Sunday we lost the US grandmother to my kids, who we laid to rest this afternoon. And it's my belief that she is now in a safer and better place in heaven because she fought a good fight. She kept the faith and finished the race as per the words of Apostle Paul in the second epistle to Timothy, chapter number 4 and verses 7. Having said that, I'll do a quick recap on our last topic, where I elucidated the importance of being wisdom compliant through three means, namely prudence, knowledge, and discretion. This is the writings from the book of Wisdom, chapter number 8 and verses 12. Today we'll carry on with wisdom, where the topic of the day will be practical wisdom. The topic of the day will be practical wisdom. But before then, I'll please request you to subscribe to Moral Compass 101 for corrective learning. Comment to interact, and please like and share to spread knowledge. Let's jump to our today's topic, practical wisdom. Practical wisdom, also called phonesis or sapience. Phonesis or sapience. The word sapiens, which appears in the scientific classification of the modern day human being, namely Homo sapien, translates to wise man. This word translates to wise man. Therefore, the difference between a human being and an animal is wisdom potentiality. The wisdom between yourself and any animal out there is your wisdom potentiality, your potential to acquire wisdom. This statement thus begs a very personal question. Is there any distinction or variance between myself and an animal? Is there any distinction or any variance between myself, yourself, and an animal? That is a question you have to ask yourself and answer yourself. Our case study of practical wisdom takes us to the book of Exodus, chapter numbers 31, verses 1 through verses 3. And I will read. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom, in knowledge, in understanding, and in all manner of workmanship. This was a time that God needed the children of Israel to build the Ark of Tabernacle, and he had appointed one man by the name Bezalel and installed him with wisdom, with knowledge, with understanding, and with all manner of workmanship. Those are 4 things that he had given Bezalel. If you flash back a fortnight ago or so, I defined wisdom as a spiritual divinity that instigates the 3 aspects of competence, namely ability, capability, and capacity, and subsequently facilitates the application, the implementation, and the utilization of both knowledge and understanding. My definition of wisdom as a spiritual divinity aligns well with the scriptures of Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter number 12, verses 8a, that says, "To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom." To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom. This is an indisputable proof that indeed wisdom is a gift of the Holy Spirit. It's a definitive gift of the Holy Spirit. So, back to our case study from Exodus. The competence of Bezalel is the man who God has appointed to build the Ark of the Tabernacle. The competence of Bezalel, who was given a demanding responsibility by God to build the Ark of Tabernacle, could only deliver this assignment successfully through his conceptualization know-how. That in order for him to deliver a good masterpiece, he had to conceptualize, to form an idea, a mental idea, of know-how, how he could come up with a perfect structure, namely the Ark of Tabernacle. This is the potential to understand. The conceptualization of know-how is the potential to understand and apply abstract ideas and theoretical concepts into reality. God did not give him a blueprint. He did not give him an elucidated blueprint of how he had to do that. He had to come up with the Ark of the Tabernacle. So it was upon him to conceptualize an idea depending on the very minimal details that God gave out. This brings us to another question. What is understanding? Remember, God gave him understanding. So when God bestowed this responsibility upon him, he need to conceptualize an idea through understanding. And we just say the conceptualization know-how is the understanding, the potential to understand and apply abstract ideas and theoretical concepts into reality. So what is understanding? Understanding is the substantive and constitutive potential to construe or to interpret the meaning, the significance, and context of information for effective and efficient inference. I will repeat my definition of understanding. Understanding is the substantive and constitutive potential to interpret the meaning, significance, and context of information for effective and efficient inference. So, when God bestowed the responsibility of building the Ark of Tabernacle to Bezalel, he never gave him the dimensions of the structure. All that God did was to point out the items that were to be kept inside the tabernacle. It was thus the responsibility of Bezalel to figure out the structural dimensions, which he could only articulate through the wisdom that God had initially bestowed upon him. See, if you have knowledge, understanding, and which will give you the ability, the capability, and the capacity to do something, but you lack the know-how, the wisdom to do an implementation, then times without number, I'll say your knowledge, your skills will be in vain. His theoretical conceptualization and abstract understanding were incumbent on his pragmatic wisdom, proficiency, workmanship. That what he conceptualized in his mind, the ideas that came in his mind, in order to remove them from his mind to a reality of a structure, in the name of the Ark of Tabernacle, he had to apply pragmatic wisdom. In other words, the aspect of practical wisdom must have played a significant role towards his proficient reality. So converting your knowledge, your understanding, to a practical reality or proficient reality needs pragmatic wisdom or practical wisdom. Hence, it's indisputable that the manifestation of abstract ideas and theoretical concepts are at the behest of pragmatic wisdom. I'll repeat again. The manifestation of abstract ideas, those are the conceptualized ideas, and theoretical concepts are at the behest of pragmatic wisdom or practical wisdom. Pragmatic wisdom is the practical application of theoretical concepts of knowledge and understanding in order to contrive reality. Again, I'll repeat that statement. Pragmatic wisdom is the practical application of theoretical concepts of knowledge and understanding in order to contrive reality. In other words, wisdom is the practical manifestations of knowledge and understanding. So without wisdom, you cannot practically implement your understanding or your knowledge. Unlike knowledge and understanding that are an abstract idea or ideality, wisdom is a practical reality. Knowledge and understanding are just abstract ideas. Wisdom is a practical reality. This truth substantiates my all-time claim that well done is far much better than well said. Well done is far much better than well said. One is theoretical, the other one is practical. And so many people, just like I like putting it, have garnered a lot of knowledge and understanding, but they don't have the wisdom to do the implementation of their knowledge and understanding. And that's why they are living in mediocrity. In closing, practical wisdom as an overarching pragmatism of knowledge and understanding demands moral and ethical dimensions through an unabated commitment to both moral principles and ethical virtues for viable intentions, decisions, and actions as a guideline or a guidance in quest of quintessential outcome. I will repeat that statement, please. Practical wisdom as an overarching pragmatism of knowledge and understanding demands moral and ethical dimensions through an unabated commitment to both moral principles and ethical virtues, for viable intentions, decisions, and actions as a guidance in quest of quintessential outcome. I'll take a minute and explain that. That apart from the manifestation of knowledge and understanding into reality, that process also requires, your moral and ethical principles, because that's what will make you to be resilient, to persevere, because this is not a walk in the park. The implementation of knowledge and understanding is not a walk in the park. It will require, self-control, which comes through self-sacrifice and self-discipline. It will require resilience, it will require good behavior. It will require virtues, so it will require morality. That's all this statement is talking about. Because you might have wisdom, but if you don't adhere to the necessities of self-control that we fight from self-discipline and self-sacrifice, you might give up in the process. So, wisdom is paramount, but there are some elements of morality that will come on board to help your wisdom deliver fireable results. These fireable results, the intentions, the decisions, and the actions, they'll be guided through your morality. So, while everything that I have been giving you is theoretical knowledge and abstract understanding, I would please beg you to implore God for wisdom in order to apply my teachings into practical reality. I might continue, giving information out there, but if you don't implore God for wisdom, my teachings might not help you. They will not become reality into your life because of lack or deficiency of wisdom. I will deduce with the scriptures from the book of wisdom, that is Proverbs chapter number 19 and verses 8, that says, "He who gets wisdom loves his life. He who keeps understanding will find good." He who gets wisdom loves his life. He who keeps understanding will find good. So, my question is tonight, do you love your life? If you do so, seek wisdom, and you shall have knowledge and understanding. And the practical wisdom will never fail you. Until next time, please stay safe. Blessings and shalom.